Alright, so here is my hill. This side kind of slips down towards the street, but over here looks pretty safe at the bottom. So my guess is everybody's going down on this side. Sledding hills are places that you keep an eye out for in the winter. There's not a lot of sports going on. Probably attract the most crowds. A couple things that I'm looking for. These little piles of snow, those are probably jumps. So like here, it's a good run. And up at the top where the parents are hanging out. I know if I brought my kids here to sled, I wouldn't be hiking up and down this thing all day. So this is probably where the gloves come off, rings come off. I think it's a good spot to start. Yeah, see a pair of gloves right there. Or, I suppose they could be waiting at the bottom, but who knows? Let's find out. So I'm just wandering around at the top of this hill, kind of collecting gloves, checking to see if anything's in them. Set them all on this table. Well, the first things I find just on the surface, pocket knife. So I'm here tracking down in 1718. Didn't sound super great. That is a screw. Checking around this picnic table first because it seems like the most obvious spot for people to post up. And I've got 8 to 11 that I really like the sound of. The ground's still a little hard here. Try not to make too much of a mess. That's a fishing weight. A fishing weight on top of a hill. Sure. Nice sounding 7/8. Can't tell if I'm hitting something solid or something icy. Ooh. That is what I'm talking about. That's a pretty little ring. I mean, I'm guessing that's gonna be bling. Sweet. We'll take a closer look at that when we get home. This is a strong sounding 1-2. So the 1-2 generally expect trash foil. But I've been surprised in the past, so I gotta take a look. If I see it right there. Yep, that's a little piece of foil. I've got one bouncing 2 to 5. Still in that foil range. But small gold will hang out in that range too. Yep. Foil. Whew. Man, that's a lot of work for a little screw. Here's one that's kind of bouncing around a little bit. Wants to hang around 8 to 10. I like that. Something right there. Oh, it's the back of a pin. Get my hopes up. Where are you? Oh. Another little screw. Whatever it is, it can't be that big. There's something in the clod. That is an earring. Oh wow. Shoot, that's kind of a long back for just an earring. Sweet. Now I'll take a closer look at that when we get inside. Double check the hole. What? That's why you double check. Shoot, there's more. Oh, I just lost one of the little stones out of it. Wow. I bet this was attached to that other piece. Yeah, that was probably a pendant then. Well, now we definitely got to check one more time. Alright, I think we got it all. We got a 3 to 6. Right under the duck poop. I bet that's our guy, the culprit. That's a piece of foil. Tracking down a 5-6. Garbage. So here's an 18-19. Man. Another screw. So this is just kind of a ground score. We just found ourselves a little Buddha. I think it's Buddha. 1011. 1011. Right near the surface. Battery. So this signal is kind of all over. Took a minute. Earring. Myself a nice 1011. Nice shine for a piece of foil. 2526. Pretty classic for a dime. Really haven't found a whole lot in the way of clad today. So there we are. Pretty good 14. Usually good for a pull tab. But I haven't had many pull tabs today. Well, there we go. So, I'm still digging them. That's a 6.7. Piece of foil. So that's kind of an interesting one. Well, it's a piece of something. A good old 30. Always got time for a quarter. There she is. Sweet sounding 2021. Like it's probably gonna be a penny. Oh, that sounds like a penny. Penny it is. 20 to 24. And there's our penny. So I'm kind of moving away from that sled hill. Gonna hit some of my normal spots. Yeah, empty volleyball court. Don't mind if I do. Alright, I'm about 2/3 through this volleyball court before finding my first signal to catch my ear. And we're bouncing around that 10-11. That's what I like to hear. Okay. And I think oh man, this is a little pendant. Stone in there. Stamped 925, so a little silver pendant and a stone. Pretty sweet find. I've got 10-11. 10-11 for a washer. Kind of make my way over to the basketball court. Caught a 21 here. I'm kind of expecting a penny. Pennies are usually pretty easy to get with my probe. I see the rim of a ring here. And look at that. That's the second ring of the day. Actually looks pretty similar to the first one. I think this is going to be bling the way that the outside is kind of wearing off. But sweet. I'll take 2 rings in a day. No problem. We're bouncing around 6-7. Kind of near some trash cans here, so I don't have my hopes way up. Piece of foil. 13-14. Right where I found that ring, or near it. Where'd you go? See, my money's on pull tab all day. Yep. And there we are. So I wrapped up at that first park, got close to home, and realized I still have about an hour worth of daylight left, so I thought I'd come here and see what I can find. I've got this park off to my right, this school off to my left, and it's a lot of open field, which is hard to hunt in the summer just because it gets so hot. And I figure now would be a great time to check some of it out. First target in this park, 16, kind of wants to jump up to 18. Well, I mean, technically I guess you could call it a ring. Here's a good 9, 10. Out in the middle of a field. That's pretty good. I'm more likely to dig those trashy signals out in places like this because it's not like just a bunch of people sit here tossing their trash on the ground. Now that means it could be a piece of foil. Feeling my probe make contact, pushing through. Yep. Piece of foil. Really solid 15-13. And it looks like we just got ourselves a rusted out, I don't know. I think this is a cross. It's bendy because I think in this rusted out mess, we're still attached to something. Is it just the coiled up chain? Man, I don't want to break it. Yep, I think that's just a wad of chain in there. So I'll have to get that home. Maybe we'll soak it and see what we can do about that. That's pretty cool though. A nice friendly 30. 30s are usually good for quarters. And there's our quarter. Alright, 26-ish. Thinking maybe a dime? Ooh, buddy. That's no dime. Oh, man. We got ourselves a ring. Is that the ace of spades? A couple of playing cards. Man, that's pretty cool. I don't think it's precious metal, but we'll have to get it home and clean it up. Awesome. Pretty nice sounding 11. Wants to bounce around a little bit. Came out pretty easy. I think somebody might have tried to get at this before. Huh. That is a zipper. I've got a good sounding 21, 22 right next to this pile of dog poop. My guess is going to be a penny. And there it is. There's our penny. So I'm tracking down a 25 that's been fairly elusive, which is interesting because it feels actually pretty big for as hard of a time as the pinpointer had finding it. Oh, there's our dime. Nice sounding 3-4. Anybody want some ketchup? Ugh. Oh, let's see it right there. It's ringing up as a 14 vape cartridge. Sounds like a couple of targets right next to the street here. First one is going to be a penny. Second one, also a penny. Here is a 12 I can get behind. Sounds pretty nice, gotta say. And I think I can feel the foil. It kind of wants to grip onto the probe. You can hear it when you push through it. Yep, sure enough. Check on this 25. A nickel. A nickel at 25 doesn't make a whole lot of sense because there's more in the hole. But there's a penny. That would bring us up to 25. Alright, 22 to 29. I don't like the sound of that. That sounds an awful lot like a can. Yep. Man. A pretty solid 26. That sounds like a coin. 26. And that could be a dime or a penny. But hey, lucky me, that's a dime. Alright, I'm bouncing around 20. 17 to 20-ish. It's either really big or right on the surface. I think it's probably right on the surface. Honestly, this kind of sounds like a bottle cap. Well, here's a dime. That's better than a bottle cap. A penny. And my pinpointer's going senile on me. Light's staying on. Oh, I turn it off. Kind of sad. We got more. Nickel. Another dime. I mean, I can pretty much just feel these on the surface. That's pretty recent. Penny. I think that was it. Alright. 16 to 28. Those are some bottle cap numbers, to be honest. I feel it. Well, it's no bottle cap. Ourselves a screw. Lots of different kinds of screws today. All right, we had a pretty awesome hunt today. It was nice to be able to get out in the middle of December and have a chance to scratch that metal detecting itch. We made it out with 6 quarters, 5 dimes, 2 nickels, and 11 pennies for a total of 221 and change. We also found some really cool stuff. First was this Coast pocket knife. It's in pretty good shape, surface fine, so it was probably just dropped in the snow and no one would have found it until that snow melted, like today. I looked it up. It goes for about $18 new. I'll probably just keep this in my kit for those dirty jobs that I wouldn't want to ruin one of my good knives on. Our other surface find was this little Buddha statuette. I was able to find it online as well. It's a inner peace Buddha. You're supposed to carry it with you to remind you that inner peace comes from within. I think it's probably just stainless steel, but I love those easy surface finds. We also got ourselves a couple pieces of junk jewelry. This is just a basic earring. And then there was this guy who fell apart as we were pulling it out of the clod. That was pretty exciting, but neither of those are precious metal or anything. We also got this cross, not this dove cut out in the middle of it. I haven't seen anything quite like that. Definitely been in the ground for a while just based on the rust. I was going to try to keep it attached to the chain, but there's no way I'd be able to save that, so I figured I'd just pop it off and be done with it. And we also did pretty great on the rings today. This was the first one I found. I was thinking that this could be gold, but the way that it's kind of rubbed off on these ridges, it was plated at best. This other one, I mean, there's no thinking that this was precious metal at all, but I'm never going to turn down a ring. And then the one that I thought for sure was not going to have any precious metal on it, which ended up being probably the coolest ring I found of the day, is marked on the inside 10K RGP, which stands for Rolled Gold Plate. So this is actually the closest I found to gold of the day. I'm going to try to clean it up, but I don't think that there's any way I'll be able to put a polish back on this without taking what's left of that gold plating off. But still, this is a pretty cool ring. The prize of the day is the smallest find of the day. That's this little silver pendant I pulled out of that volleyball court. Stamped 925 on the back. Yeah, there you can see it right there, 925. And I wasn't expecting it to be a real diamond, but my tester says that that is a real diamond. So I'll have to take that in and we'll double check it, but I mean, for now, that's good enough for me. And then on these hunts, you can't forget about the trash. A lot of the day was spent picking up the garbage, and we got a pretty good pile of it. The full can, which is always fun, a couple vapes, batteries, and a lot of screws. One of these days, I'm gonna open up a hardware store. That's the other thing about screws too. You know, you could always complain about pulling up stuff like this, but you'll never find a screw for less than a penny. Keep that in mind when you're just out there hunting. Nothing but screws. You're doing better than if you're just pulling up the pennies. If you made it this far, I want to thank you for watching my hunt. I'm hoping to make a lot more of these videos, so feel free to subscribe. Please like the video, leave me a comment. Let me know what you'd like to see in these videos, anything I'm missing, anything you'd like to see added, and I'll take that into account for the next one. Thanks again, and good luck out there.